Have you ever noticed that America attacks Libya in 1986, Iraq in 2002, or Syria in 2014 whenever it wants? America has repeatedly tried to change the fate of the Middle East, but there's one country that has escaped their control for decades, and that country is Iran. Even today, America and Israel are searching for cracks in Iran's fortress, but it's not going to be easy. History proved that for the last 600 years, Iran's borders haven't moved even 1 inch. Whether the invaders were Romans, Arabs, Turks, Russians, or the British Empire, Iran has repeatedly shown it has the strength to withstand even the biggest attacks. But what's the real secret behind this power? What makes Iran completely different from other Arab nations? Welcome to our channel. Let's first talk about the gift that nature gave to Iran. If you had to describe Iran in one sentence, it's a massive fortress. A fortress whose walls were built not by humans, but by nature itself. This country is surrounded by mountains on all 4 sides. The Zagros mountain range in the south acts as a wall protecting Iran from enemies coming from the south. In the southwest, these mountains gradually slope toward Iraq, but in the northwest, they become so steep and high that they create an impossible border with Turkey. Where there are no mountains, there are marshlands, especially where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers meet. These marshlands act as natural barriers, just like a deep moat in front of a fortress. That's the border situation with Iraq and Turkey. Looking north where the Caspian Sea or Azerbaijan is, the Alborz mountain range provides protection. Looking east, small mountain ranges are wrapped like ribbons around Iran, forming the border with Afghanistan and Pakistan, meaning Iran is protected by mountains like a fortress on all 4 sides. While in the south, the Persian Gulf acts as the final wall of this fortress. If someone tries to conquer from the Persian Gulf, they face mountains 1.5 kilometers high, spanning almost 250 kilometers inland. Geographical location plays an important role in conquering any nation. Similar natural mountain ranges have protected Afghanistan for centuries too, whether the enemy was the Soviet Union or America. These mountains are so important for Iran's safety that every single attempt to conquer Iran in the last 600 years has failed. Besides Iran's borders, inside the country there are 2 large deserts, the Dasht Kaver and Dasht Dashtlut. They're so barren that people are forced to live on mountains. Iran's total population of 90 million mostly lives in these mountainous areas. This is why, for any foreign army to enter Iran and control it has always been a nightmare. For enemies coming from the ground, logistics can be challenging. Supply lines can be stretched thin. Narrow paths and harsh weather create daily new challenges. But the story has another side. The same mountain ranges that protect Iran also imprison it. Throughout history, whenever Iran tried to expand toward the west, these mountain ranges became major obstacles for Iran too. This is why Iran doesn't wage direct wars to maintain presence in the south and west. Instead, they've built a network of Shia proxy groups, like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Houthis in Yemen, Islamic resistance in Iraq, and Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Palestine. That was Iran's geographic advantage. Now let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz. As I mentioned in a previous video, the Strait of Hormuz holds tremendous strategic value for Iran. You can see here that the entire northern portion of the Persian Gulf from beginning to end belongs only to Iran. While the lower portion is shared by 7 countries, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, and Oman. The entrance to the Persian Gulf is called the Strait of Hormuz. On Iran's side of Hormuz, a V-shape forms. Because of the shape, Iran can control this area from 3 sides. The lower portion near Oman is pointed. There are narrow mountain passes and it extends only 50 kilometers to Hormuz. At this point, it has always been easy for Iran to close Hormuz, and now they've actually used this option after US and Israel attacks. Iran has clearly stated that if any country's ship moves toward Hormuz, it will be burned. This doesn't just pressure Gulf countries, it pressures the entire world. Because 20% of the world's oil, 90% of Qatar's LNG, and 5% of the world's economy depend on Hormuz. In 2025, the world economy was $120 trillion, and after Hormuz closes, $6 trillion would suddenly disappear. If anyone wants to conquer or attack Iran, Iran has a valuable asset to pressure the entire world by closing Hormuz. Iran's third advantage is a very long coastline. Iran's total perimeter is 8,731 kilometers, of which 2,815 kilometers is maritime coast on the Caspian Sea and Persian Gulf, meaning 32% of Iran's border is maritime coastline. And let me tell you, this is no ordinary coast. Normally after coast comes sand, but here there are mountain ranges. Iran has secretly positioned missile batteries at hidden locations. There are caves and blind spots invisible to satellites or drones. If any enemy lands from the sea, they immediately face mountains from which sudden attacks are possible. Geography, the Strait of Hormuz, and difficult coastline are the third shield protecting Iran from outside invaders. Now, what about the different ethnic groups living there? Iran is a multi-ethnic country. It's not just one group living there. Persians, Azeris, Kurds, Arabs, Balochs, and Turkmen, along with other different tribes, live here. When a country's population consists of different ethnic groups, the biggest challenge becomes keeping everyone happy. Every group wants their own rights. Every group wants to protect their language and culture. Different tribes on mountainous areas live with their own languages and cultures, and each group has feuds hundreds of years old. Iran has kept everyone united under the umbrella of Shia Muslims, but still, protests are often seen. Recently, protests that started in December 2025 are continuing until today, with over 7,000 people dead so far. This is the biggest protest since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Controlling all this and bringing them under one umbrella has always been difficult for Iran. Sometimes one group is unhappy, sometimes another. This multi-ethnicity is a problem for Iran, but it's an even bigger problem for any invader from outside. Whoever thinks about conquering Iran first has to fight geography and then manage the people inside, which seems impossible. This is why, during the British colonial era when the British ruled the subcontinent, Iran was never made into a British colony. The US and Israel understand this well too. That's what President Trump keeps repeating, that Iran's people should overthrow the Islamic regime, because they know defeating Iran without the people's power is nearly impossible. In 1941, the British and Russians conquered here, but with help from the Shah's son. The purpose was to prevent Nazi forces from making Iran their base during World War II. During that time too, different groups in Iran opposed the government, creating almost civil war conditions. Besides this, these groups have disagreements among themselves, but religiously they're all connected. 95% of Iran's population are Shia Muslims. Throughout history, whenever Iran faced outside attack, all these groups united. In September 1980, when the Iranian Revolution was fresh, Saddam Hussein thought Iran's military would be scattered and the system weak. Thinking this, Iraq attacked Iran with intention to conquer. But the war Saddam Hussein took lightly continued for the next 8 years. Initially, the Iraqi army penetrated far inside, but within 2 years, Iran reclaimed its land. In this war, not just Iran's military, but ordinary people participated, and all came together under one umbrella, sacrificing their lives. Saddam Hussein expected Iran's Arabs would join the Iraqi side. Kurds would cause trouble, which would break Iran from inside. But all Saddam Hussein's hopes were dashed. The groups that had disagreements among themselves all united under the Shia Muslim umbrella during the war. This further strengthened Iranian nationalism. After 8 years of war and 1 million casualties, finally Iraq was exhausted, and so was Iran. But without taking 1 inch of land, Saddam Hussein had to admit defeat. Iran's most dangerous weapon is not its military, but its size. This is not a small target that can be captured in weeks. This is a strategic land spread across 1.6 million square kilometers, meaning 2 Pakistans can fit inside it. If any army crosses the border, quick victory is impossible. They have to navigate ancient mountain paths, desert plateaus, and cities hidden deep within. This is called the strategic depth concept, meaning the deeper an enemy penetrates, the longer their supply lines become. Fuel and logistics pressure increases and obstacles get more time. Besides this, cities like Tehran, Isfahan, or Mashhad aren't on the borders, but protected inside. Reaching these cities, enemies are already exhausted. So it's not wrong to say Iran's land itself acts like a silent guardian, making time its biggest weapon. If this video about why Iran is impossible to conquer amazed you, subscribe right now for more mind-blowing documentaries. Hit the like button. Drop a comment below telling us what shocked you most about Iran's geography and strategy. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching.